that I want to talk about today is the World Economic Forum, looking to blockchain to restart the global economy. This is the article. So in a new report from the World Economic Forum, deployment of blockchain-based solutions can potentially address the supply chain inefficiencies and failures that have been exposed by the COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, nations across the world are suffering and struggling with the supply chain. Along with this report, the WEF has also released a so-called blockchain deployment toolkit aimed at governments and businesses to take advantage of in order to adapt their supply chains to the current economic situation, i.e. negative situation, as well as boosting the post-COVID economic rebound, right? To try to accelerate the economic recovery following, normality, right? And now this report, together with a toolkit, was published today, and it contends that the well-being of both the private and public supply chains are under duress in the midst of our current situation. So here's the toolkit right here. Now, this report cites how supply chains from industries, from pharmaceuticals, medical supplies, and food systems have been hit the hardest in recent months, and they're causing the biggest struggle in nations kind of recovering from this. Now, arguing that the efficiency of supply chains depends on transparency, DLT, or distributed ledger technology, is capable of creating a, quote, shared truth, end quote, among the supply chain stakeholders. Now, for those of you who don't know, the World Economic Forum is a Switzerland-based NGO. It was founded in 1971 with the aim of engaging leaders from the world of business, academia, and politics on major economic issues. So basically everything that we hate, with the purpose of advancing the global economy. In order to assist business and government organizations in getting up to speed on blockchain-based solutions, they have launched this blockchain development toolkit, which, in their words, is designed to maximize the benefits and mitigate the risks associated with deploying distributed ledger technology for purposes, right? Now, this toolkit was under development for, it was developed for about a year, over a year actually, and it saw contributions from over 100 public and private firms from over 50 countries, including Deloitte, Maersk Shipping, the World Bank, the World Food Program, et cetera, and many, many others. Now, Nadia Hewitt, who actually heads up the blockchain and digital currency division at the World Economic Forum in the United States of America, said that this toolkit is going to be helpful in bootstrapping blockchain solutions for those who want to take advantage of it, particularly, and I think this is really what they're aiming at, smaller players who lack, smaller countries or companies who lack significant resources to generate positive development in the realm of DLT, right? Now, this DLT toolkit has already been deployed in the field for a variety of pilot projects, including those with Saudi Aramco, Hitachi, several small to medium-sized businesses in addition to that, but obviously with the Aramco and Hitachi being the biggest one. Now, ambitious blockchain programs are being spearheaded by major companies in recent months, right? We've been covering this quite a lot, suggesting that industries across the board are waking up to the benefits that DLT, regardless of any kind of cryptocurrency or native token, but just that DLT can offer, right? An increasing number of major companies and institutions have created ambitious programs recently to deploy blockchain and blockchain solutions across their supply chains in recent months, right? Now, according to Kwale Hoon, who is an executive from Singapore's Maritime and Port Authority, they are seeing an accelerated trend of adoption of not only blockchain, but other DLTs, digital technologies, and that it has improved productivity and efficiency and their shipping sector dramatically. Probably one of the biggest things. Anytime anything's being transported, DLT can help with that, right? Adding that blockchain has great potential in the realms of loading, tracking, and internation trade. Another example of a country embracing DLT is the United Arab Emirates, which is approaching its deadline for the completion of their Emiratis Blockchain Strategy 2021, a program with the goal of migrating 50% of governmental transactions onto DLT-based platforms. Now, Rupert Colchester, he's the head of blockchain technology at IBM in Australia, stated that many businesses, are now implementing DLT solutions, particularly across their supply chains, in response to a greater industry demand for transparency, which you'll see here in a second is kind of my whole tack with this entire topic, right? Another example of industry adoption came from earlier this month when the Iowa-based egg producer Farmer's Hen House, right? I read about that in the paper, had begun printing QR codes on their cartons to allow consumers to trace the origin of their produce, right? With global supply chains, listen, global supply chains are right now, they're in a lot of trouble. And it seems that the adoption of DLT technology across major industries is going to be seriously accelerated in the coming months and years. It's already begun ramping up. It is apparent that blockchain technology and DLT systems improve supply chains, and they foster greater trade in a world where tensions are being strained by the coronavirus pandemic. And the question we have to ask is, in that type of society, how can you foster a free market spirit and incentivize fair play and encourage nations to continue trading and improve trading to remove friction, right? It seems that the answer is by incorporating these transparent DLT systems to help foster that trust and honesty in these networks, right? These networks of trade and commerce. Now, personally, I view this development as a good thing. The more of this technology that we see being utilized in traditional B2B or intra-business applications, the less opportunities for manipulation or foul play exist. The less friction points, the less middlemen can possibly exist, right? Now, this is an example of kind of a cliche, like blockchain, not Bitcoin, right? But the adoption of blockchain, not Bitcoin, in this case, is a positive movement for trade becoming more efficient and for fostering, in my opinion, a more egalitarian mode of commerce, right? Something that keeps the wheels turning across the nation, which, by the way, sets up a greater world where the adoption of something like Bitcoin makes more sense. If we add into that again, the adoption of a hard money in the form of Bitcoin, we are moving towards a better world, certainly. But what do you guys think, right? Are these great leaps forward? Or are these the initial webs to move the world towards something like global communism, right? Was there something that we missed? Let me know in the comment section down below.